Just last week, the Denver Nuggets were the latest team out west to claim the top spot in the conference, with Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray returning back to form after missing most or all of last season due to injury, and Nikola Jokic looking like an MVP candidate for the third year in a row. The Nuggets have become a well-oiled offensive machine. As of this time of writing, they are the second best offense in the league, with a supporting cast of Aaron Gordon, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, Bones Hyland, and Christian Braun. The Nuggets have more than enough to make a serious run in a wide-open Western Conference. After all, fully healthy, this team went all the way to the Western Conference Finals in 2020 and seemed poised to make a finals run in 2021 before Murray got hurt. There is one thing that seemingly always holds this team back. It's defense. And as they say, defense wins championships. So can this Nuggets team do it without it? Let's get one thing out of the way very quickly. It's not Jokic's fault. The knee-jerk explanation around the Nuggets' lackluster defense is to point to the man in the middle controlling it, the Joker. And in theory, blaming the big man, the most important aspect of any defensive scheme, is usually the right answer. It's also fair that Jokic isn't the most versatile defender in the world, and he's been burned in the playoffs because of his lack of versatility on that end. And in his time since becoming the Nuggets centerpiece, Denver has had a top 11 defense only twice. Why the seemingly arbitrary number 11? Well, because ever since defensive rating has been measured, dating back over 35 seasons, only two teams outside of the top 11 have won an NBA title. The 1994-1995 Houston Rockets and the 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers. Not to say that it can't happen, but the numbers show that it is pretty tough to win with anything but a good defense. Back to the Nuggets and Jokic though. While he may handicap them a little bit in terms of what type of scheme they can throw out there to stop opponents, the two-time MVP has made sizable improvements as a defender, especially guarding the pick and roll. For example, playing at the level of the screen causes trouble for Jokic, like here against Lillard, who blows by him for a layup. Or here, Lillard rejects the screen and Jokic is too late to recover. But playing in a deep drop has proved to be successful. Like here against Chris Paul, where he shows, lets Murray recover, and still has his eyes on Ayton, the roll man. Or here against De'Aaron Fox, where he contains the speedy king, letting Murray recover and not giving any breathing room to Alex Len. The deep drop is where Jokic is probably at his best defensively. And in order for that to work, you need guards and wing defenders around him who are willing to do the dirty work, fight over screens, lock and contest on drives, and force the ball handler into tough shots. And the Nuggets starters, which includes Jokic, Murray, Porter Jr., Gordon, and KCP, have done that so far this season. In over 200 minutes, the Nuggets starters allowed just over 100 points per 100 possessions, which would be by far the best defense in the NBA. Swap in Bruce Brown and Christian Braun for Murray and Porter Jr., and they're still just as good. Jokic, the guy who gets the brunt of the blame defensively, actually leads all Nuggets in defensive plus-minus this season. Denver allows 8.4 fewer points per 100 possessions with him on the floor. Now that number is somewhat inflated by a very simple fact. The Nuggets bench is atrocious defensively, and that's the issue. It's not Jokic, it's not the rest of the starters, it's not even either of the Browns. When Jokic is off the floor or when the Nuggets throw out their transitional lineups, they just bleed points on defense. Specifically because of two players, Bones Hyland and DeAndre Jordan. Jordan, the 34-year-old big man, is way past his all-defensive prime and is a slow-footed big that just can't keep up in pick and rolls anymore. Constantly gets burned on rotations, the whole nine. The good news is that Jordan's minutes have gone down as the season has progressed, and the Nuggets have slowly but surely been climbing up the defensive rankings ever since. With Hyland, however, it's a trickier situation. He is an explosive combo guard who gives them a ton of offensive juice off of the bench. When he's really hot, Nuggets head coach Michael Malone might even finish off the game with him in the lineup. But Hyland is food on defense. Not only is he a smaller guard that could get hunted in mismatches, but his slight frame makes it much harder for him to fight through screens. Despite Father Time catching up to Jordan, it's actually Bones Hyland that has been by far the worst defender on the Nuggets this season. But Malone won't be reducing his minutes anytime soon, and probably shouldn't. What may interest the Nuggets more is spreading out and staggering their starters more, so that there is some competent defenders on the court at all times. We saw that on Sunday Sunday against the number 1 seed Celtics, where the Nuggets bench managed to win their minutes without Jokic, with Bones Highland paired with long players like Conchar, Gordon, Porter, and in the middle, the younger Zeke Naji. And maybe more importantly, they seem like one of the most obvious candidates to make a small trade to shore up their bench. They don't have many assets to go out and make a big splash, but a defensive-minded big man or another feisty guard to defend the point of attack off of the bench would go a long way in improving this Nuggets defense. And if they don't make a move, there's an argument to be had that this Nuggets team might just be good enough to go far without an elite defense. It's rare, yes, but so is Nikola Jokic, and the type of offensive engine he is, paired with the plethora of weapons the Nuggets have on that end, makes them one hard team to stop. And in a Western Conference that is wide open, maybe the Joker, an all-time offensive engine and undoubtedly the greatest passing big man in NBA history, and a healthy Porter Jr. and Murray, is enough to get it done. Essentially, if there's any year for Denver to capitalize on its quote-unquote window, it's this season. And it would be a shame if the only thing that gets in the way is their lackluster defense. Hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that subscribe button for us. It's appreciated. We'll see you next time.